I'm a marine biologist. I think people inherently assume that marine biologists grew up on the ocean. I grew up in a landlocked state in New Mexico. The closest ocean was in Mexico, the Gulf of California, on my spring break, and like all kids, I just wanted to be in the water. But my parents had a boat, and I'll never forget the first time a bottlenose dolphin came up in front of the boat and rode our bow wave, and that was it for me. I was hooked. Prior to arriving at OSU, I spent my entire career with NOAA, in fact with National Marine Fisheries Service, which is also known as NOAA Fisheries. I started there actually as a PhD student, as a research associate. I spent quite a few years, 8 years, being chief scientist of the Eastern Tropical Pacific Cetacean and Ecosystem Assessment Surveys. Those surveys are famous for providing the science that underlies the dolphin safe label on tuna cans in supermarkets all over the world. MMI is deeply involved with research on fisheries and conservation. On the surface of it, people might not think that marine mammals have much to do with fisheries and fisheries management, but marine mammals have everything to do with fisheries and fisheries management for a variety of reasons. Commercial and recreational fisheries impact marine mammals usually accidentally through entanglement in fishing gear, for example. And there's a direct connection because often commercial and recreational fisheries are targeting the same product that marine mammals eat. So there's a competitive relationship there. Understanding more about marine mammals will help us to have humans use marine ecosystems sustainably, and it will help us to allow fisheries to continue to thrive while mitigating their impacts on marine mammals. Many may know that this year we have experienced a high number of gray whales that have been washing ashore dead. In fact, that number has been so high that it's triggered what we refer to as a UME, an unusual mortality event. And we don't know exactly why those animals are dying in such high numbers and washing ashore, but we are conducting research to better understand that problem. We are learning about their critical feeding grounds, not only up in Alaska, but there's a small population that feeds right here off the coast of Newport and a little bit north called the Pacific Coast Feeding Group. What is it about this area that makes it a special place for gray whales to feed? How do their feeding grounds change over time in ways that perhaps trigger these unusual mortality events? Those kinds of research projects will better help us understand health and condition, abundance, distribution of these marine mammals. There are two things that I find extremely inspiring about the research that I'm fortunate to do. The first one is when we discover something that is so unexpected and so exciting. A good example is the research survey that I was a part of this past January and February in the Southern Ocean in sub-Antarctic waters. We went down on a relatively small vessel with a small international crew of scientists, and our goal was to find a specific type of killer whale known as type D, called that because we don't know, we practically know nothing about it. We did find that killer whale and we were able to collect some skin and blubber biopsy samples. Once we are able to analyze those using molecular genetic methods, that will tell us whether it's a new species or not. I think it's incredibly inspiring to know that there are secrets that the ocean holds that we have yet to discover, and particularly with respect to marine megafauna, whales, dolphins, and porpoises. The fact that we don't even know how many species are out there is really exciting and really inspiring. I said that there was a second thing that I find inspiring about my research, and I would say that's the people that I work with. The people that I work with are among the most passionate, dedicated, and talented people that I've ever come across, and I'm inspired by them on a regular basis.